welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who once fit 13 demons into a 6-demon bag. It's John Levingood.
So, I spit demons into a bag.
No, you fit.
Oh, I fit them. I'm sorry. I thought you said spit.
Oh, you spit demons into a 6-demon... So
I was thinking of like a gypsy curse when they spit at you a little bit.
So are you putting these things in, like, you know in the movies where they eat the tiny creatures and then they spit them out? Like R2-D2 from Empire Strikes Back. Are you putting demons in your mouth and spitting them into a bag?
Well, I mean, it goes well with gypsy curses. I think that I just channeled Drag Me to Hell.
Oh, got you. And you just got cursed, and then you're spitting demons.
I think so. And then, like, it's like when you vomit a dead cat.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
In that glorious movie.
So you just keep putting these demons in this bag. How do they feel about it, since it's technically a 6-demon bag?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that these demons weren't pleased with it, because I think that if you do anything to a demon that it didn't want to do, there's hell to pay. And
literally,
it's kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons dork, though. I wonder if anyone out there is just thinking of the term bag of holding right now. But I won't get into that. This is not a D&D podcast. But
this is like Hermione's bag in Harry Potter.
It's like it's some extra dimensional space. Right, where we are apparently shoving entire demons, or are we reducing the demons from their physical manifestation to their spiritual essence, which maybe occupies less space, and then you shove them in the bag, and when you take it out of the bag, it re-manifests.
So are there villages in this bag when they manifest in there, like you just said? Are villages being attacked because you're spitting them into this bag?
So, I mean, well, now is it just an extra dimensional space, or is it like another dimension?
Yeah, are you spitting demons into another dimension?
So, like, if Egg Shen were to put a demon in his bag, did it basically just pop into a world analogous to ours, and now there's a demon? Oh my, this is how the movie Colossal happened, Mark.
Oh.
Colossal happened because at the time Egg Shen only had a 2-demon bag.
Wow. And then they connected with the characters in it.
Right.
Gee, I love that movie.
Colossal is... Dude, Pacific Rim.
Whoa. That's where the portal came from.
So when Egg Shen is... And Jack Burton and Wang are saving Chinatown and Wang's girlfriend, they are creating horrors for another world as kaiju rise from...
I love this. Big Trouble in Little China caused Pacific Rim.
Boy, they don't seem so heroic now, do they?
No, I mean, they're really like it's like you're saving one world, but you're wrecking others.
No, you're saving one girl and wrecking a world.
Wow.
Well, 2 girls eventually.
Yeah. I mean, with green eyes too, so that's great. Wow. So that was a good one.
When you put multiple demons in a bag, at first, do they fight like cats in a bag? Because I don't think that demons play well together.
Are they more like, I see, are they morose in there? Do they get lumped in together and they're like, you got caught too? Yeah, I did too. Or
what are you in for?
Yeah, exactly. Or do they try to just sort of establish, like, are they in line? Like, you know when you're waiting in a dentist's office and it's really boring and you're just sitting there, are they like that? Or does one try to be like the alpha demon? And would the other demons attack that demon? Because I don't think demons work well together. Has there ever been a pair of demons in movies that work together?
Ghosts, but not demons, right? Yeah. Like in Ghostbusters 2, you have the Scoleri brothers. Yeah. They worked well together in the beginning in the court scene, right? But in the Frighteners, ghosts will work together. But it's like, I think that's different, though. I think, like demons or whatever, in these like fiendish things, they seem to always be solo acts, right?
I guess the closest thing is what Insidious. I don't quite know what they are, but you have the red-faced demon, the red lipstick demon.
Right.
You have the lady from the second one. Then you have the man who can't breathe. Then you have the dork with the fingers in the fourth one. They're all
solo acts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think you just throw them in a bag and they kind of just do the further thing. They just kind of go to their own areas and just say, "Leave me alone."
So okay, do you think that Egon Spangler went to Chinatown in 1983 so that by 1984 he had technologized, if you will, Egg Shen's 6 demon bag into the containment unit in Ghostbusters.
Whoa. Do you think he bought that off Egg for like $4 and then Egg realized it and just went, oh?
So I mean, maybe they were just getting along. I don't know. I mean, because Egg, boy, we're talking a lot about this movie already in a weird way.
But see, the good thing is that's why I did the question so we can like. And remember in the past I used to just do Kurt Russell questions and we talk about him for 30 minutes before we got into our topic. So this is the way we're actually in the movie right now.
But yeah, it's like that 6 demon bag, the way we're describing it. And like if the further was like in that bag, I wonder if that's almost analogous to what's going on in the containment unit in Ghostbusters.
I think they're just having a rave in there. I think it's like the Matrix Reloaded, those ghosts. I think it's just like one very long Black Eyed Peas song. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. It's like those party scenes where people are having way too much fun all the time. I think they're just living it up. I think they're chasing each other. I think they're running around.
It's the Blade Rave.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Blade Rave. I just think they're playing cards. I think ghosts no, they're all like, listen, we're ghosts, so there's no reason for us to fight, but we should party.
So I mean, we're in here.
Yeah, because when they come out, they're all like, yeehaw, but they're not like fighting. They're just.
That's true. It's really just shenanigans.
And then the latest Ghostbusters, they're all working together. So I think you know what? I think when you put them in these containment units, you're creating gangs of ghosts. So when they get out, they're organized and they're more structured, which they can do more damage with haunting.
It's like in the movie Blow, when Johnny Depp as George Jung was basically taking all the criminals to GED drug dealing school.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're doing in here. The ghosts are working together, they're partying, they're drinking Jägermeister, they're going crazy.
They're just making contacts. This is a networking opportunity for them.
It's just one big Black Eyed Peas song, 24/7. There's cover bands. I bet during that time, if you'd have looked in there, there was a Foreigner cover band playing.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, just poof up the guitars. If infinite food, it's like Hook in there. They didn't want to leave. When they opened up that containment unit, I'm surprised anybody came out.
Like they just imagine the food and it appears and it's delicious.
Yeah, exactly.
That was awesome in Hook.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing in there. They're just gobbling up. They're partying. They're chilling. I think that they were just mad that they got kicked out of there.
Do you think that Peter Pan's Neverland is a dimension of a bag like Egg Shen's bag?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that actually a part of the further?
Yep.
What if it's just way out? Like the further is just like, it's like a whole world, right? That's like another continent of the further.
Yeah, there's a lot of further. Like you call something the further, it's kind of endless, right?
If you go farther into the further, you get other furthers.
Yeah, it's more relaxed. They didn't steal your children. Everyone wants to be further away from those gross people in the further.
That's right.
So, I mean, you have to travel a long distance to get away from that certain area of further. That's a nasty area, John.
I'm going to believe that.
It's a nasty area.
Those demons are no bueno.
All right, so you want to get into the movie here?
Yep, yeah, okay.
All right, so this is our 150th episode. Big deal. Been around for a long time. And we asked on our Facebook page and our website and Twitter, hey, guys, we want to do a Kurt Russell movie. Vote. And we had a big turnout. Like, we had a lot of people voting, a lot of comments. It was neck and neck for a while, and it all came to a head at the end when Big Trouble in Little China became the winner. So we announced the winner, then we asked for questions, and then we got a ton of questions. Not Sea Beast podcast amount of questions, but we got a lot of questions. And if you've been listening to this pod for a while, you know that Jack Burton is my favorite action hero of all time. And this isn't me just spouting things and it's going to change tomorrow. He is legit my favorite. I mean, I wrote about him in 2016 about how an appreciation of Jack Burton, where I basically declared him being the greatest action hero of all time. So we've talked about this movie a lot on the podcast, but we've never gone into the minutia or 6 demon bag like we just did. We've always we've glossed over a lot of the parts in it.
Right.
But now today we're going to dive right into it, like a demon into the six demon bag.
Like that, like a shaved Jason Statham diver demon right in there.
And we're going to drink some of that elixir and burp up a bunch of Big Trouble in Little China facts for you. All right, so how about this? Do you want to get started with the listener questions?
Sure. Let's jump right into this.
All right, and then we will get into the movie. You want me to read the questions?
Go for it.
All right. So this is a two-parter, and they kind of build on each other. So Zane Hirschberger asks, who would win in a fight? New York Snake Plissken or Jack Burton?
Boy, so it's not a bad question. I just don't like this question because I don't like being asked to decide this.
Yeah.
But Plissken, right? He is tougher, period. End of story. He is the tougher guy.
And
he's the guy.
He'll shoot you. You know?
Yeah. But Jack Burton has some kind of immense, luck. He is like Domino in Deadpool. It's just that his luck doesn't look so slick, right? So I don't. These two things are so the opposite. One guy comes down more to skill, even though he's a bit of a blowhard, and the other guy relies almost entirely on luck. So what happens there?
I thought about this, and I watched this as I was watching this movie again. I noticed something about Jack Burton, and so there's a scene where I forget his name. What is it? There's the three guys that work for Lopan. This is really bad.
Three storms,
yeah,
thunder, lightning, and rain.
Yeah, I love that. I think lightning comes into the building, blows off the roof,
right?
And this is later on, but Jack Burton just walks up to him and punches him in the face 3 times. So he's down for fisticuffs, and later on they're hitting him with these balls, and they're kind of like cheating, and he's almost hurt by the fact that people aren't fighting fair. Because if Jack Burton's got something to say, he'll walk up to you and punch you in the face. He's a scrapper. He will hit a storm right in the gut. So the problem is Snake Plissken will just shoot you. Like Snake Plissken, if you're in his way, he would just wipe you out. He wouldn't fight fair, I believe.
Yeah, like when Jack Burton is winding up for his second of his 3 punches to the face, Snake Plissken's going to punch him in the balls.
Yeah, exactly. So he's that guy that, he'll do the fisticuffs. He might even get a ref. He'll give you like a mouth guard, protect your teeth. And then you kick him in the nuts. And he's like, why? Like, it's a street fight. So I really just think Snake Plissken would shoot him. I think he would, or electrocute him, or do something, hit him with a car, hit him with a stop sign. I just think Snake would not fight fair, and Jack would meet his demise because of that. Because he really does square off with people in these films, and he hates.
Go ahead.
I'll go for it.
I was going to say, so like what you're saying though, I'm actually realizing. So I was conflicted about the skill and brutality versus just luck, and where do they meet? But it turns out that Jack Burton's luck usually relies on chaos. It relies on many people versus many people. So if it's one-on-one, that luck, like he can't accidentally get knocked out and miss a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
In this case, he can't do that. He can't fall down the chute and end up somewhere else in the cave system and be safe while everyone else is fighting the fight. No, Snake's just going to follow him. So I guess his luck runs out on the one-on-one scale.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I don't think Snake would throw a knife at Jack, so Jack can't display his great reflexes. I think he would just shoot him. He would pull out Indiana Jones and shoot poor Jack Burton. I don't think Snake would kill Jack Burton. He'd just shoot him in the leg and walk away.
Twice in the leg.
Yeah, twice in the leg.
Twice in the same leg.
Why? And
that's a Snake thing to do. Like he shoots him, he's like, what'd you do to me? Then he shoots him again in the same thigh.
What?
Like,
I'm already down. I got you in the meaty part. You'll be fine. I think you. I love this. Snake would just shoot him in the leg twice.
I was very conflicted about this too, and just talking it out though, I think we've found the actual answer.
Yeah, I just. And then building on this is Gina Ortiz, and she asked, better question. You have the Kurt Russell characters from your top 4 films based on those votes you have. Put them in either a Royal Rumble situation or put them in a Final 4 bracket situation. Who would be the Kurt Russell character to rule them all, based on traits such as, but not limited to, badassery and clever zingers? So we're adding zingers into the fray. Like, singers equal spin kicks, essentially. So the top 4 movies we had were Big Trouble in Little China, so we have Jack Burton. Then we have The Thing. And then we have Yeah, McCready, and then Captain Ron, and Stargate. So, I think we should put them into if we put them into a tournament, the same thing would happen to Jack Burton. So let's put them in a battle royale. John.
Okay, that I was kind of thinking of that too because I don't like the it's too difficult when I think of the one-on-ones. My first thought here, by the way, was that McCready and Lieutenant, I can't think of his name from Stargate, but McCready and Stargate Russell, they both like explosives and they're both not afraid to die to defeat their enemy. I straight up think they are blowing each other up. And I think that Ron showed up late because he was napping, and I think that Jack Burton got lost. So I think that the two of them are going to show up to this battle royale, and they're going to be pieces of McCready and Lieutenant Stargate Russell.
Oh, wow. Wait, Jack O'Neill.
Lieutenant Jack O'Neill.
And so, yeah, they blow each other up, which I love, because they would. They would definitely blow each other up. And then
it doesn't even matter which one's explosives work. They're just going to blow each other up.
And Captain Ron and Jack Burton, they wouldn't kill each other. Like they wouldn't. They just go get a beer.
They could be what I think would happen though. I think that Jack Burton would win the fight.
Oh, because against Ron?
He's going to be the fighter. I think that they're gonna look at each other like you're saying and be like, whoa, we don't need to fight. But then Jack Burton's gonna be like, I'm gonna punch you once in the face that I know I won.
Yeah, he is kind of, yeah.
Or something. Like, he's going to do something.
You think that's in Jack Burton's soul? To beat up little Captain Ron?
Well, I mean, he's showing up to a royale.
That's true.
I think it's like he punches him once and he realizes that Ron isn't a fighter.
Yeah.
And that Ron probably doesn't even want to be here. Like, he meant to go to St. Kitts and he ended up on Ted's Island. Yeah. Like, he's in the wrong place.
I think Captain Ron would be tough to punch though, because remember in the beginning when he gets out of the cart, falls in the ocean, like they don't even catch him, storms don't take care of him, gorillas don't get him, he gets to where he needs to go. He has a lot of luck, just like Jack Burton on his side. So if I just see Jack Burton trying to swing on Ron, and Ron's kind of ducking him, like he's kind of moving out of the way. I think he's
just trying to talk his way out of the fight the whole time.
I think Ron would win because Jack would just get tired.
He'd miss and fall off the boat.
Yeah, nobody, like the two of them, neither of them would get hit. Jack would just fall down, kind of sit on his butt and be exhausted. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a big dude, but he is a truck driver, so that doesn't work great for your cardio. And he also doesn't swing punches a lot. I mean, if you wing punches for a minute, you're done. So I think Jack's going to swing at him for about a minute, maybe throw one kick, and Ron's just going to duck him. Because Ron can run. So, you know what? I got my money. Ron's walking out of this alive.
Well, I'm sure that Ron and Jack are leaving alive.
Yeah. Oh, but I got Ron as the victor just due to the fact that Jack Burton's tired.
Because he's tired.
Yeah.
He's just giving up.
Yeah, he just quits. Like, get out.
Like, let's just get some beers.
Yeah, exactly. And then Ron's like, all right. And then they get beers.
You know what's funny too is that they both like talking into CB radios.
Oh, you're right. I could see them in a Foreigner cover band. They do. Oh man, I would hate to be like, oh, Jack Burton's back on a CB radio. All right, so let's do another question here. If there was going to be a 2019 remake and all the main characters refuse to reprise their roles, who would you cast in their places? Jeez Louise. So, do you want me to jump on this?
So I had a lot of problems with this one. I get so conflicted because I'm going to think of a better idea later.
All right, so actually, my wife gave me the best idea. My original idea, after watching Spy, I realized that Jason Statham is very good at making fun of himself but being serious about it. So as a Jack Burton, I could see him talking the talk, or like, if we're not back, call the president. I could see him delivering those lines. I could see him knocking himself out, which he did in Spy. But then Megan from this podcast, she said, hey, Mark, what about Patrick Wilson? And I started thinking about it. And I was like, that would be perfect. Because I think Patrick Wilson, if you've seen him in some of his funnier roles, could play that blowhard, and it would have no problem kind of lowering his ego in the movie. He would have no problem. But he also, I think could capture the heart that Kurt Russell has in, because I think Jack Burton, everyone calls him a blowhard, but his heart's in the right place and he goes along with things. And there's moments when he's flustered and there's moments when he's kind of out of place and he's kind of hurt by things. So I think Patrick Wilson can do that. And then since I'm too easy, I want to do, I was thinking Tessa Thompson, but she's probably too young for Wilson. So then I was like, you know what? Let's just throw Vera Farmiga in as Gracie Law because they're great in The Conjuring together.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have coming full circle Jackie Chan as Egg in this. I would have Daniel Wu as Wong.
Is that the guy from Badlands?
Yeah, and Tomb Raider. I think he'd be funny. Like, he can kind of pull off that humor really well. And and then I had as the villain. I like when Donnie Yen gets cheeky. I liked some of his cheeky moments, so I would like to see him go full cheeky as Lo Pan and just deliver the same lines in like a cheeky way. So that's like the core cast that I could see here. I think Farmiga and Patrick Wilson work great together, but I just like to see him have a bigger role, and I think he'd have fun with it. I think he would do something different, and yeah, that's my cast. I
really just focused on our two heroes when I was thinking about this, and I got really frustrated when I thought of everyone else. I honestly, I had a hard time just thinking of this. But when I think of my Jack Burton, Sean William Scott, I'm mostly channeling him from The Rundown.
Oh man,
which is another good adventure kind of setting. Especially, he's getting a little older too. I kind of like the idea of a slightly older character. When we were younger, Jack Burton felt like a full-blown adult, but now we're way older than Jack Burton.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at him like a youngster almost, like this young blowhard. It's weird getting older and seeing the movie you've been watching for decades. But then, so one of my, it's not an issue with this movie and it's not a flaw with this movie, but this movie has loads of action, but the technical action is very poor. There's just loads of very fun action. And because there's so much of it, it's engaging. But if you look at any of the martial arts that actually transpire on the screen, it's something a couple kids can do in their backyard almost. Yeah. And so I want Scott Adkins to be the serious stunt martial artist. Or if I'm going the other way, and I want to do an Asian actor, I'd go more Tony Jaa again for like my for my stunt and serious character, the character who doesn't have a good history of funny roles.
Got it.
And so I like those two. But of course, I'm almost thinking of it now though as it being directed when I say Scott Adkins or Tony Jaa as a martial arts movie, and that wouldn't work. Mm-mm. You can't do that. So it's tough. It's catch-22-ish. This is such a complicated movie.
After watching, it's all over the place. It was originally a Western.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it was originally a Western, and then they brought in the guy who directed Buckaroo Banzai, J.D. Wright, I believe his name. W.D. Richter. So Gary Goldman and David Weinstein wrote this as a Western. And then they brought in W.D. Richter to modernize it. And then, so it was kind of funny. But John Carpenter watched another movie and it worked. It was like an older movie and they translated to modern days. Like, well, if that can work, so can this. So they translated it over to here. And then it's something interesting too about, you talked about the stunt choreography. I was listening to the commentary and I was reading some articles and they cut a lot of the budget back in production time. So the martial arts training got cut down to about 3 weeks before the movie started. So then they had to, since they had a lower budget and then they had to cut a lot of action scenes, they had the lower budget, limited production time. They had to fly through all the action choreography. So
yeah, it's a blast to watch.
They couldn't do wire work either. They had to add like trampolines in the movie.
Right. I know exactly what you're talking about too for some of these scenes.
And so after watching Goon and Rundown, I could totally see Sean William Scott pulling that off. I think he'd be the best when Jack is just reacting to insane things as any normal person in the world does. When that big spider comes out and eats a guy, he's like, "Oh my god!"
Right.
I think Sean William Scott could really pull that off, and also the physicality of the role. I think he could do it too well, and he He would add like, yeah, that's good, man. So either William Scott, those are like two of my favorite actors, Sean William Scott and Patrick Wilson. That'd be a fun way to watch those guys together. That was a good question. That was really in depth.
Yeah, that was who was that? That's my buddy Matt who lives in Kissimmee.
Oh wait, did I not? Oh yeah, thank you for that very much. Actually, that was a good question.
It's a two-parter.
Oh yeah, it's two-parter, and then the next one is also, who would you rather have make it? So we asked M. Night Shyamalan, Michael Bay, Sam Raimi, and Tarantino. And I would love to see all four variations of this, but
yes.
I think there's only one for me, and that's Sam Raimi, because I think he could capture the weirdness. He could have a lot of fun with it. He would put the lead actor just through a ringer. Jack Burton would get the living daylights beat out of him, like an Evil Dead and Drag Me to Hell. So for me, even though I want all four of these, I would love to see Sam Raimi direct this.
Okay, first off, I agree. I would love to see all four of these. And second off, you got the same pick as me. M. Night Shyamalan, there would be a lot of great mood, but I think it would be too much mood and not enough effects for this kind of movie. Michael Bay, great explosions and effects, but he's too explosion and property damage centric. I mean, he'd be like wiping Chinatown off the map, and this was a little more understated than that. But he's good with buddy movies. He's good with humor. I think that he just would try and make it too big of a scale. I don't know. I'd still like to see it, right? Tarantino, that would be the gritty, fantastic dialogue thing. But like, will he do anything that isn't rated R? We'd be watching a rated R. We'd be looking at Big Effin' Trouble in Little China.
A 3-hour-long version of it too.
Right. But then Sam Raimi, yeah, he's zany. He works so great with smaller budgets. Whatever budget you give him, he's going to do probably great things. He's really funny. And then, yeah, the biggest thing you pointed out, not that the actors are going to love it, but he's not afraid to make his actors get gritty and work.
Yeah.
And, I'd love to see the Sam Raimi take on it.
Sorry, go ahead.
That'd be my favorite, I think, out of them.
I'd love to have Matthew let us know how he kind of narrowed it down to these four directors, because these are four very inspired choices. So if you're listening to this, just shoot us a message on Facebook or John, and just kind of let us know why you picked these four if they're your favorites, because this is a really good group of four.
But I really am a little torn though, because the Michael Bay one though, I mean, I think he gets a little too carried away sometimes in his explosions versus storytelling. But like when I look at the Bad Boys movies though, boy, just the action versus the character dynamics, Michael Bay is my second choice in there maybe. I don't know. This is hard. No, I don't know.
If Michael Bay went back to Bad Boys, The Rock territory.
As opposed to Transformers Part 4.
Yeah. I would love that. I think he could do it. And then catch some of like the Pain and Gain kind of weirdness, because that movie goes off that movie goes off the rails.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, that was a very pleasant surprise for me, and I'm surprised more critics. He did something different with that, and I really enjoyed it. It's weird, and he got The Rock to do some crazy stuff. But yeah.
Yep.
All right, so we have a bunch of questions. I want to get in the movie. We'll do one more question, then we'll kind of jump into the film, and then we'll finish up the questions after the break. So the next one is by Neil Mitchell, and he asks, do you feel there's a massive hole in the movie regarding the sheer power of the lightning guy not at all being in the fighting until chasing them at the end? Don't you think he'd have been in the hall and just shocked the crap out of the good guys and ended the fight, since during his display he destroyed the roof and made it all burn?
Okay, so my answer is a hard no, that I wouldn't expect it. I'm not saying it's unreasonable, but I wouldn't expect it, because in any movie where people have supernatural powers, they tend to have a limit. It tends to drain them. You see two people having like some kind of magical wizard duel. One of them literally looks physically weakened as they're persisting this magical, power, etc. It doesn't just go on forever. At some point, you weaken. And so I think that he used a lot of his energy using his lightning escape when they kidnapped the girls. And the other thing is that we know that he was a part of the ceremony that Lo Pan was having at the end. So if he has a finite amount of power, he knows he can't use it all because he needs to have a requisite amount for that. And he also knows there's an existing threat that may threaten that ceremony, right? So he kind of has to stay low during a lot of this because he's using his powers actively more than any of the other three storms.
That's interesting. I like that. And also during the final battle there at the Wing Kong and Chang Sing, so he didn't really have much room to work his stuff. Like he was maybe close combat up on somebody, or he was like you can't be raving like Scarlet Witch in the Avengers movies when you're surrounded by people.
She was glow sticking,
exactly.
Just all over the place.
You can't be glow sticking. Well, I guess in a rave that's what people do in close quarters. But you're not going to shoot off much power. You might give people some make their hair stand up straight or something like that. But he seemed to need more room with it. So I think he didn't between exactly what you said that. He had a finite amount of it, and then just the general melee of it all, he just wasn't able to use his powers to wipe everybody out. And also his close quarters. Like, do you think he would have killed some of the Chang Sing in this battle? Do you think he would have risked that? They probably didn't care about collateral damage, did they?
Yeah, I don't know. But another thing, we don't know if there are contingencies to his powers. It was literally raining when he lightning arced out. There was a storm for him to summon the lightning, perhaps. So maybe when he has a storm, he has more flexibility. When he doesn't have a storm, it's just draining him, But yeah, you can't do these things all the time. This stuff gets tiring.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it and I get tired.
If you find half Thor Bjornsson and you're like, hey, dude, who was the Mountain in Game of Thrones? I heard that you can deadlift 1,000 pounds. Bet you can't. And he'll be like, yeah, I can. I'm going to do it right now. And then he'll do it. And you'll be like, do it again. I'm just saying, it's like we only have so many tricks. Scott Adkins only do so many backflips in an hour before he gets dizzy or throws up.
I like this. Yeah. That's a good do it again.
There's a scene where Egg Shen and Lo Pan have one of those magic duels, and it manifests as like their ancestors fighting. And at one point, it stops, and Lo Pan is frustrated, and he runs off. Why didn't he just reinitiate it? Well, again, I think it's you have so many tricks in your bag.
Yeah, and they're pretty much at a stalemate too, and he just was like, I don't want to deal with this.
Right. And Egg Shen was probably happy to keep going.
Yeah, let's go. Maybe that was Egg Shen's way to kind of draw him into it. Then Lo Pan got smart to it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, that's a fair question, though. But I think that a lot of times the default when you see something in a movie is to assume that whatever you see, they can do all the time. But look at how many times, for all the time we see Gandalf on the screen across, 6 movies, he uses magic. He uses magic very sparingly, and I think there's a reason for that.
And he had great staff skills that he used. He wasn't blasting people most of the time. He was bonking people in the head.
That was weird, yeah, when he went straight up kung fu with the sword and the staff.
Just whapping people. All right, so we have a bunch more questions, but we'll get back to them after the break. But we're not there yet. We're just talking about the movie. To get a few things out of there, I just want to say it was directed by John Carpenter, who is one of my favorite directors. You have a very fond... You like John Carpenter, correct?
Oh,
John?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Absolutely. I even like his less liked... Well, I shouldn't say less liked. His less critically acclaimed movies, like Prince of Darkness.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I mean, when his movies are bad, not bad, when they're not good, I still feel like they have personality.
Oh, yeah. No, they're all cool. I mean, They Live, come on, that one's a blast.
Oh, man, I love that movie. Jeez Louise. Yeah, so we love John Carpenter, and so he wanted to make this movie, but he wanted to make it modern, so the 2 screenwriters, Gary Goldman, who wrote Total Recall, which is pretty interesting, David Weinstein, they switched it over to W.D. Richter, they modernized it, gave it to John Carpenter, and, Carpenter originally wanted somebody like Clint Eastwood in this movie.
Now, when this was originally a Western, if the information was there when you were doing your research,
yeah,
did it still involve a few monsters and a sorcerer?
They left it very vague. I couldn't find the original script, but I'm guessing it took. I guess during out west when they were building the railroads, there was a large. There was a lot of Chinese here who were
true.
They were being exploited to work on all the railroads,
That's
So
true. That's interesting.
maybe there was some mysticism, or one of the guys, or that's my best guess.
And then with all the railroads and the mines and making shafts through mountains and stuff. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of opportunity there. I didn't even think of that.
And then you got the cowboys and all that kind of stuff. That's where kind of Clint Eastwood came in. So they originally had that. They switched it around. And what I thought was interesting was that Carpenter envisioned the film as an inverse of traditional scenarios in action films, with a Caucasian protagonist helped by a minority sidekick. In Big Trouble in Little China, Jack Burton, despite his bravado, is constantly portrayed as rather bumbling. He knocks himself out, all this kind of stuff. In the DVD commentary, Carpenter said the film is really about a sidekick Burton who thinks he's a leading man. According to Carpenter, the studio didn't get it and made him write something that would explain the character of Jack Burton. So Carpenter came up with the prologue scene between Egg Shen and the lawyer. And the reason I read that was the opening scene is Egg Shen, who is played by Victor Wong, who was Eaten in Tremors, has this speech. He's in a lawyer's office, and they're kind of talking about how a half a block got blown up, and they're looking for Jack Burton. And Egg Shen's like, if it wasn't for Jack Burton, we all wouldn't be here. So they kind of they had to include that scene to make Jack Burton seem like less of a sidekick. Isn't that pretty gnarly?
I never would have thought of that. I by the way, that opening scene, I all but forgot that opening scene because, like, I want to say 9 out of the 10 times that I probably saw this movie in pieces, like in the last decade, you never turn it on the channel right when it's starting.
Yeah.
And so we saw that, and I probably haven't seen that scene since I watched this on VHS with my uncle, like in the 90s. And all I could think was, holy crap, was that the influence for the opening of The Usual Suspects? I'm not kidding. I'm really looking at it wondering that, like, just the way it's going down.
That's interesting. But yeah,
not a lot of movies open like that.
Yeah, they had to film that afterwards because they thought that they had a hero who was too much of a bumbler. Like, why is a guy getting knocked out in the middle of a fight? Why is he dropping knives? Why does he have lipstick on his face? Which, that wasn't written in the script. They found out that her lipstick just smeared off, so like, let's do it. Which I think is one of the best touches in the film. And they just didn't get him because, during the time, this movie, I mean, the 80s had some pretty larger than life heroes. Also during this, you had Clint Eastwood kicking butt, from the 70s on. You had Bronson, Chuck Norris, Arnold. Like, you had some big action, like larger than life stars. So the studio did not like Jack Burton, which I kind of love because I think Jack Burton's awesome. But I kind of like human heroes more than the kind of, like, I wrote that article about all the bullets that missed Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. And you watch that movie and you're just like, what is happening? I love it. But in these movies, you're never with the hero because you know that he's just going to wipe people out. So I like the humanity in this. The studio just hated it, which I think
I think they just didn't get it. Like, that's a hard thing to get.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I like that what Kurt Russell said. He said, at heart, he thinks Jack Burton thinks he's Indiana Jones, but the circumstances are always too much for him. So he'll go headlong. During that, after he knocks himself out in the final battle, he gets up and he's in the melee. He'll punch demigods, I don't know what they are, in the face 3 times. He'll catch knives and throw them at demons, but it's still too much for him. He's not ready for it. He's out of his league. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't make him like as much of a bumbler. Of course he's bumbling around because he's out of his league. But I like that aspect of taking a guy who's willing to get into the fight, but he just shouldn't be in the fight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I love that idea of it. That's a really smart idea, and I love that in my action heroes. So.
Well, I mean, he in a weird way, he reminds me of like this interplay between like a Han Solo and an Indiana Jones. It's like he has life experiences and they might be a lot rougher than most people's experiences, but he's always shocked by what ends up in front of him. And he's always, like he's not afraid to run when everyone else is going to run. There's something about him. He lacks that more refined savvy of Harrison Ford's characters. But watching this, I just kept thinking like Han Solo, Indiana Jones, Han Solo. Like I don't know if it was deliberate or not. But those are very beloved characters too, Han Solo and Indiana Jones, for those reasons, that they aren't so perfect. You know, they talk more than they can deliver.
And Han Solo will run after stormtroopers, realize he's outnumbered, then run away from them.
Right.
And so I like how you had this really great template, and then they took it farther by just having scenes where he wasn't doing the butt kicking, where he'll drop a knife out of his hands and Wang just destroys people. I love that idea. So they took the Han Solo Indiana Jones aspect and just made it more comical, but it worked, and it never took the character into parody. I felt.
No, not to its detriment anyway. Only in positive ways.
Oh man, I wrote, so I'll include it in the podcast post, but I wrote a massive article about Jack Burton. So to save that, so if you want to read it, just head to the site and look for this pod post, and I'll link the article to it. So this movie, it only made 11 million when it came out, which is about 40 million nowadays. But I feel like that's about right for Big Trouble in Little China. Just how funky it is. It's like a funky.
I wouldn't have expected it to do well. I mean, I want it to do well, but at the time, I don't think the world was ready for that movie.
No, studios weren't ready for it.
I think there were enough genre fans already. It's just that without the internet era, it's hard to really buzz up a movie like this. And I think a movie like this needs more of an international support to take off in the theater.
You know what I thought was interesting is Kurt Russell did say on the commentary, it's a very good commentary. You should listen to the Thing commentary and the Big Trouble in Little Trouble comment and the Halloween commentary, because John Carpenter with Jamie Lee Curtis and Kurt Russell is great. But Kurt Russell did say this movie's very hard to describe to somebody. Like the elevator pitch of this film would be, what is the
okay? I wrote down, because I thought it was so comically simple, I wrote down the IMDb synopsis, the one sentence synopsis. It's a rough and tumble trucker helps rescue his friend's fiance from an ancient sorcerer in a supernatural battle beneath Chinatown.
Now, imagine being in an elevator doing that pitch to the head of Fox.
I'd think that you were high, and I'd say you're fired pending a pee test.
That's why I love this movie, though. This movie got made. Like, this movie it's a funky little thing. It
is.
And I don't know. I still like what he was going for, and I don't know. I love the introduction to Jack Burton in his truck, just talking about, like, he's just monologuing on his CB radio.
Here I am on the Pork Chop Express, coming to you at 9:30. Wait, no, so he talks a lot. He must have 20 lines in that ham or CB or whatever it is radio when he's in his truck when we're meeting him after the Egg Shen scene. And all I can think is, who's he talking to? Does he have like a listenership out there? Is he just talking to dead air for whoever wants him to hear it? No one's responding.
Yeah, he must just do you think there's some self-importance to him?
Was he the first podcaster?
Yeah, you're right. People say Kevin Smith and Chris Hardwick and Mark Maron and all these guys, but it was Jack Burton.
I think Jack Burton was podcasting.
Like he was just sharing his thoughts for anybody to hear, but no one replied. I wish
a dark and stormy night. Like was he drunk? Was he drinking and driving?
I'm pretty sure. But he's a good truck driver, though. When you watch him, I mean, the fact that he can drive into the streets of San Francisco with
the alleys, he made a hard right in an alley right before he met that street gang fight.
He knows that truck very well. And like when he's driving in the middle, when he parks it, he can back it up. He does a great job. So I like that he's just monologuing and probably annoying a bunch of truckers, but he's also good at being a trucker.
If he was the truck driver in the Fast and the Furious, there wouldn't have been any sequels.
Yeah, he would.
He would have killed them all.
Yeah. That would have been the shortest action scene ever. He's built something fancy into the Pork Chop Express. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So yeah, he's the greatest trucker. He shows up in San Francisco, and he meets up with Wang, his buddy, and they start gambling. And I kind of love this scene. Yeah, and the guy's getting married the next day, or meeting the woman, his bride to be. But it sets up a great scene where Jack wins, and Wang is saying double or nothing. He's a compulsive gambler, it seems like. We should be worried about him. But he sets up a double or nothing so he can hack a bottle in half. Jack wisely picks the bottle. Wang tries to hit the bottle, and Jack just catches it. So that's a really good job of setting up just the reflexes. Like they build that character well with that scene.
Right.
Like he likes to gamble. Like him and Wang are friends. He has great reflexes.
Even though outstanding reflexes, ninja-like reflexes, he did look surprised. Yeah. So it's not like he just caught it like in the movie where some dude takes a swing and they do the ridiculous I'm gonna catch your punch thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like that where he's like, I saw that coming a mile away. He catches it and he's like, whoa. Like, what did I just do? Like, he even impressed himself. And Wang is just sitting there like blank face, like, it's all in the reflexes.
You know what's funny that you say that? Megan threw something to me the other day, and I just wasn't paying attention. When I finally saw it, I did some like really fast reflex. Instead of me going like, yeah, that was cool, I was like, holy crap, did you see that? I was like, I didn't blow my shoulder out catching it. I still got it. I still have reflexes. Like, I was genuinely excited that I caught something.
So he gambles with him all night, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've known each other for a long time, even though Wang was ready to totally screw him over and like knock him out. I guess he would have lied to him about it the next day. But like, they are not good friends. They are long acquaintances.
Yeah, he sees them whenever he pulls in, and they probably have some beers.
Yeah.
Like, they don't talk on the phone. He doesn't listen to Jack's podcast.
No. I don't know if anyone does.
Yeah. I mean, like, they're rating and reviewing him on, like, CB Trucker Weekly.
He said his podcast for 15 years. He has 2 reviews, and one of them was him, and one was his mom.
Yeah.
He's like, Mom, just go on and review me. It's
Come
like
on,
when you're getting
Mom.
started.
It was a massive thing. I'll do it. Yelling at each other.
So they're going to pick up Wang's fiancée, and the way that the dialogue went, it sounded like he hasn't seen her since he was 5.
I think he said 5 years. So they were in love together. He moved to the States 5 years ago. I haven't seen her in 5 years. So
I thought he said since I was 5.
Mao Yin. I keep wanting to pull a Super Troopers and go meow.
Meow.
Meow. Meow Yin. Miao Yin. And so they go to the airport, and we meet Gracie Law, played by Kim Cattrall, who's awesome in this movie. I love her in this. And Jack goes up to her, gets shot down immediately.
And we see these 3 Asian gang members with sunglasses and leather jackets who look like they were like Biff's buddies in Back to the Future 2.
The Lords of Death.
Yeah, it's quite an ominous name considering they're just a bunch of jerks kidnapping a woman.
Yeah, if you're called, like, I feel like the Hell's Angels live up to that. But if you're the Lords of Death and you don't incite fear in people, there's something wrong.
If you open a puzzle box and hooked chains come out, and then Pinhead and his death metal group come out, though, that's the Lords of Death.
Yeah, that's definitely.
These guys are like the Lords of felonious shenanigans.
Stab wounds.
Right.
Because they do. So a fight breaks out. They end up taking Miao Yang. Meow. Gosh. Yeah. So they end up taking Wang's bride to be, and I just can't get that word right. I don't want to be saying it wrong the whole time. So they get into a big fight, and this is the first time that Jack Burton does look hurt. So they're fighting, and Jack gets knocked on his butt. This guy pulls out a butterfly knife. And he goes, "What? Where'd you get that? Wait a minute, pal." And then he's just annoyed that they're not just going to throw fists in an airport. And I love that scene about it.
Right. Yeah, that was the adult version of, hey, no fair.
Yeah. And then so there's a really cool shot, though, with the Lords of Death when they're driving away in their car. What's this? The camera shot on them with the 3 of them in the camera. Great shot. They get away. And I love that Jack Burton goes, "Son of a bitch must pay." I love that line. And then so him and Wang decide to go chase them down, but they get stuck in the middle of a pretty badass fight scene.
They are in back alleys. They went down an alley, and then they made, this was the hard right I was talking about.
Yeah.
You see them make a hard right in there. I don't think that was possible, but they make a hard right down this little alley, and then they see these people coming down. They're having this like solemn funeral procession on foot. They're all in their damn gis, though. They're ready for action, and Wang explains.
Yeah, a Chinese standoff between the 2 gangs. Do you want to know why he explained that scene, John?
Why?
So An issue the studio had with the alleyway fight scene between the two gangs was that you couldn't tell the good guys from the bad guys. Carpenter notes, this was intentional since we're seeing the event through Jack Burton's eyes. Carpenter,
that's great. Yeah. I'm sorry I interrupted. But
Carpenter lost this fight with the studio, and additional dialogue was added in to differentiate the two groups because good guys dressed in white and bad guys dressed in black wasn't obvious enough for those 20th century Fox execs who obviously never saw a little movie called Star Wars. So they had to add that scene. Oh, wow, this is them. They're a bunch of killers. So they added that dialogue in, but originally it was just them watching it because it would be disorienting. If you're in a truck, listen, I'd be amazed that I fit this truck in there. I wouldn't be caring about a fight scene around me. Like, did you just see that hard right I took? So I would be in that, and then this massive gang fight breaks out, and I thought that was really smart, where you just don't know who's good or bad or what's happening because that's what it would really be like. But the studio made them add dialogue in.
I mean, I don't know that
I don't mind
How do I say it? It didn't cheapen it, but it kept it from being as rich. You know, like, because that's the thing that we could look back at and really appreciate when we're looking at a movie. It's like that something wasn't explained. So, but it didn't feel cheap to me that they did that. Now that you're saying it, like, but I kind of wish that they didn't explain it now.
If you're a director though, and one studio exec's like, listen, man, we like this fight scene, but you toss some dialogue in to explain it. I'd be like, it's better the other way, but this isn't too bad of a suggestion. I get it, so I'll do it. I don't like. There's battles to fight, but I think this one, like, I think that's perfect what you said. This doesn't take away from the scene, but it kind of makes it a little cheaper. Takes a dime away from the dollar.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but it's a brutal fight scene. Dudes get their ankles broke.
Yeah, there are multiple on-screen breaks, which I really liked.
I mean, these dudes were beating the living daylights out of each other, and I really like the Wing Kong guys. That I've watched this movie a lot now, and I know these like when I saw the Wing Kong guys in Escape from L.A., I was like, holy crap, it's the Wing Kong. Like, I was so happy, and there were some Chang Seng members in there, but I like how these Wing Kong guys evolve, and they start taking the fight over, which I kind of love.
Yeah, and wait, who are the good ones?
The Wing Kong.
The Wing Kong, okay. I liked how the Wing Kong guys even had that thing, and I feel like this would have helped viewers realize who was good and who was bad. But when they do their hand signal,
it's like loser.
Well, but I mean, it does look like that. but it's like, you good? I'm good. Yeah. Oh, I got him. High five. Like, it seemed to mean a lot of things, but it was always an affirmation of something.
I love that during a battle. Like, so if you and I are in a battle, John, and I have I'm Gandalfing people with a pipe, and I just, like, level somebody's ankle. I, like, turn his ankle into Jell-O, and then you and I look at each other, and we just do the signal to each other. Like, right. We're bragging, we're, like, kind of broing out during a fight. Like, instead of, did you see that? It's like, yeah. I love that. Like, you just get, like, I see you just kneecap a guy, and I'm like, poof, busting those out.
Good one.
And you can do that for everything. Like you know, someone picks up a round of beers, like, give them that. Like, it's good for anything.
Yeah, they were checking on each other. The other guy, because on film you don't see the dudes in black checking on each other ever or interacting with each other during the fight. We see our fellows in white interacting with each other, and I feel like that should also cue in. But again, it's not a sign. I guess people could miss it. You're just screening something and you're an executive.
Man, I love it. So what, they get out of their truck, right? Wang and Jack get out of the truck and they escape to, wait, what happens next?
Well, hold on. They're trying to drive away.
Oh, yeah.
And then they see a 7-foot Chinese man wearing makeup.
Yeah.
And ancient garbs.
And they smush him. Oh, and the 3 storms jump over the truck.
Right.
And then Lo Pan gets smushed. And I like that they practically just set up a dummy there and they smush something.
Yeah, just got knocked right over. But and that might have also been, like, I guess from Jack's point of view, because Lo Pan can't interact with physical things.
Yeah.
And but then when he says, like, I just ran that guy over, and Wang said it may have appeared that way.
Oh, yeah. I still like that they smushed something on the set.
Oh, and it looks hilarious though when he does it. Like if you're seeing that movie for the first time, you're probably gonna half stand up, like your team is running it down towards the end zone. They're about to score, so you're like your butt is hovering above the seat. You're half standing up, your hand goes. You're probably like when that happens, it is funny. It is abrupt.
Oh man! So then they knock him over, but then they have to get out of their truck, right?
Right.
Which he does not want to leave his Pork Chop Express. He is not happy about that.
I don't know with a name like that.
That's a great name. I mean, so what do you think about what comes next? Do you like the scene where they kind of all reconvene and plan for the battle?
Yeah, and we're kind of getting the rundown of Gracie Law and everything. We're all meeting in the, what is it? It seems like I can't tell if it's a kitchen in someone's house or if it's attached to the restaurant.
I think I guess it's attached to the restaurant.
The maitre d' shows up, and if you're seeing this for the first time, the maitre d' is going to be one of the heroes.
That dude's awesome.
He can fight a bit.
Yeah, no, he rolls with them the whole way. And that was what was his name? That is Eddie.
Eddie Lee.
I like Eddie a lot.
Eddie Lee. Yeah, but and of course, but when Jack's on the phone though, he's wearing the silk Chinese robe, like he just got out of a shower or something. Yep. And he's just like bitching with an insurance company about the disappeared truck.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I don't have it. It disappeared. Otherwise I wouldn't be calling. And it's like
this massive action scene where they run over a guy and there's mysticism and death. And then you cut to him in a silk robe talking to an insurance company.
Right. And it's not a short call. It's really entertaining. It's not a short call.
Yeah,
he's very dismissive. Everyone else is saying like, wait, you saw Lo Pan in the streets? That's impossible. Yes, I saw Lo Pan in the streets. Yeah, look. Well, what do I need to get? Like a piece of the hubcap or something? Like he's just trying to get.
And people in the background are talking about life and death situations.
Right.
He just wants his truck back.
They're talking about a 2,000-year-old evil sorcerer from Chinese folklore.
And I love the plan that they come up with is to go to the brothel and dress up Jack Burton as like a total nerd.
Dude, I just want to say, and I've said it before, we've had this conversation, I believe that his disguise and his mannerisms were Chris Farley's influence for the guy with the van down by the river.
Oh, I mean... He's hilarious in this. He
looks like it though.
He channels a little used cars. He's just a total dork. I wish I would have written down some of the lines. But this way he's like, like just such. But the thing is, he looks like it's such a ruse, right? And in his head, he probably thinks he's the best. But I love that Carpenter just lets you watch this guy. I just love that aspect of Kurt Russell's performance because it's funny. That's a funny moment.
It is comical too to know that like this is the same John Carpenter who was directing Russell in Escape from L.A. and in The Thing, and he's seeing him throw these shenanigans at the camera, and he's just like nodding quietly with a half grin, like, yep, that's it, yep. That's what we're looking for, and I'm just like, wait, what?
I don't know. This is what I love about Jack Burton though is he wants his truck back, but he's also jumping into this to help acquaintance who tried to screw him over.
Right, because I just want my money back with interest.
I mean, he could have walked away. Do you think he likes these guys and he's helping them because of this, or is he only driven by that money?
So he likes him, but he's hiding behind the money because at one point he says, "I'm just coming with you to make sure I get my money back." Oh yeah, that's right. I owe you double, triple. I think he even said that at some point. Like, but yeah, it's like it's your friend and you just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, he's not going to express his emotions.
Yeah, it's a bit of a it's kind of like makes me think of like when we were in our early 20s drinking too much in Tallahassee one time. It's like your buddies, you watch out for each other, but you're still just talking shit all the time.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to say something nice, but you'll do nice things.
Yeah, well, hey, the way you chugged that beer didn't suck.
Yeah. And then, so he actually gets into it. I love that his plan works, but then Lightning does rip off. It's Lightning who does it, right? Who rips off the ceiling of the building, takes Mao Yin away, and then leaves them up to another plan, which is my favorite plan of this movie.
Well, and what else is fun is just that before they even get into the plan, Jack, are you ready for this? I was born ready. Yeah. I'm like, how are you born ready for this? You don't seem ready for anything.
If we're not back by the morning, call the president.
But now this plan seemed to be realized much more quickly on screen than the previous plan when he was calling the insurance company. All it really was to me was, we need to go to, what was it, the Wang Kong or Wing Kong trading company where Lo Pan is, because that's where they would have taken her. And like, that's the plan. We're just going to go infiltrate it, right? And like, end of plan. Let's go.
And I love how they do it. Oh, over here, we'll let ourselves in.
Right. They're pretending to be phone guys. And they pull like a Three Stooges almost. That was pretty cool. I feel like someone might have followed them down, but then again, maybe they don't get paid enough if they're at the front counter.
Yeah. Like,
those security guys, they're like the lowest level of security guy.
You're not going to just wrestle with the guy.
It's just like, hey, yeah, so where do you got the breaker box? And, oh, yeah, I think it's over here. That's right. That's where it was in the other buildings. Okay, yeah, we're just going to go see ourselves. Like, they just steamroll these poor security guards. That security guard, first off, I'm almost certain he got fired.
Yeah.
He could have a wife, a baby on the way, and a 6-year-old in a private school. Like, this could have had a negative impact on him, because I think he's the guy who works for Lo Pan who doesn't realize he's working for Lo Pan.
Got it.
He's just the regular guy who took a job that he saw on Monster.com.
He's a temp. He got sent there from like a temp agency.
Like lightning, thunder, and rain, the three storms. Like they were headhunted. They were headhunted. They recruited them. All the people attending the ceremonies and wearing armor and using swords. Again, I think it wasn't from Monster.com.
Yeah, just the security guards up front.
That security, I hope he didn't get fired. I mean, since they defeated Lo Pan, but now he's out of a job one way or another.
So how about this? Let's research this movie. Let's see what happened with the security guard. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll share with everyone what happened to the security guard in Big Trouble in Little China. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. So the name of the security guard was Carl. And Carl was fired.
Fired?
Yeah, but he was only doing that job because he was just trying to raise money to be, to kind of keep food on his family's plates and a roof over their heads while he built his gallery. He was a painter. So what happened was, somehow he got fired, and because he was union, he got a pretty good severance package. And that severance package gave him enough money to open up his first gallery show. And during this gallery show, he sold a very expensive piece. But then he also got 3 commissions, which actually allowed him to move to a better place, get a better life for his family. He kept painting. He eventually became a teacher part-time. His kids went to very good schools. He and his wife were very happy, and they had a great life.
This is an interesting piece of fan fiction here.
I just made up a whole life for a security guard.
Carl.
He became quite the artist. Carl Jung. Yeah, great art. Look his stuff up. Really great. All right, so let's get back into these questions here. So Kat Lippy asks, so since we're talking 3 storms, what's the deal with thunder? Did he get uncontrollably mad and blow himself up? Or was that really a power? If it is a power, he only gets to use it once. And what does it have to do with thunder?
Okay.
Do you want to explain the scene?
You go ahead.
All right, so at the end, everything's kind of going to crap for the bad guys. The good guys are winning, and Thunder gets really angry, and so he starts inflating himself up like a balloon. So think about a balloon puffing itself up. He puffs himself up, then he explodes himself. Not as a bomb. It's not like it doesn't take out rooms. He just kind of pops.
It's like if you're within 10 feet, you're going to get hurt. If you're within 20 feet, you'll get bumped.
You'll get some bone shrapnel.
20 feet, you're fine.
Yeah, you'll get some bone shrapnel. If you're on a wall, you're cool.
Right. So I don't think... I think it's more that not that was his power. I just think that his demise was thematic with his power, and he was upset because he saw that Lo Pan was killed.
Yep.
And so now I thought about this a good bit. So Lo Pan, he waited. It was something like 2,100 years to find these brides in this movie, right? Very Dracula, by the way, very Bram Stoker's Dracula. I've crossed oceans of time, but and he has multiple forms like Dracula, as it turns out too. But so it's very Dracula, right? So he has always had this cadre of people tending to his needs. Well, he's a sorcerer too. I wonder if there wasn't some ritual or something along the way where he imbued 3 individuals with greater power so that they would also be undying like him. And maybe that's what the 3 storms are.
Yeah.
But then when he died, that magic ended. And then so ended just cinematically, more dramatically when Thunder saw that Lo Pan died, then he lost his undyingness. And, you're probably, anywhere from 100 to 2,000 years past your death age. I kind of, I never would have thought of this while watching the movie, of course. But this is just, reading the question, this is kind of where my mind went. Thinking what happened in the 2,000 years before this movie? A lot of stuff happened. I mean, they tried a lot of brides. He needed reliable people.
And they seem to be good friends. Like, they perform for him. They do like little numbers for him before they offer stuff up.
So, right, they do their little dances.
Yeah. And Lo Pan's just watch him going, good. Like, he's really, he's not critical of them at all. He's enjoying it.
You have rehearsed this very well. Yeah. I'm grateful.
It's like in What We Do in the Shadows when one of the vampires is dancing for the other vampires. Like, they're just genuinely enjoying his new dance moves. So I think they're just hanging out. They seem to get along really well. There's a trust there. So I think he was just, something got weird with the power. He knew he probably couldn't get another job. What is it when a samurai lose their person, they become Ronin?
Right.
Well, these are Chinese, not Japanese. But still, like, who's going to employ him? So he just wanted to blow himself up. Is what I'm getting.
He did just want to blow himself up. But hold on, I don't know my history at all, but Japanese history is basically Chinese history, but 400 years younger.
Yeah, I'm covering both bases. So
I just don't know when Japan split off from China.
Got it. So I guess we don't know the origin of Ronin and all that kind of stuff, but we do know Keanu Reeves was one of 47 of them.
So so you think on Thunder it's like he's just like the job market.
Yeah, I'm not filling out any resumes, but I also like what you said. Maybe maybe he thought it would do more, but he had lost some power because Lo Pan died. I think in his head he thought he was going to blow up the whole place, but instead he just kind of popped like a balloon.
Could have been something like that, almost like the Predator. Like at the end of Predator, like he thought he was going to do the self-destruct and take out city blocks, and it's like without Lo Pan.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
It just turned into it was like popping a whoopee cushion.
I mean, that's what it looked like, right? There's no blood or guts.
Dude, when he inflates, I love that special effect so much, though. Just his face, and they're actually like gouting steam out his nose and his red face. It's so ridiculous.
I love that effect. So I like that. So he just sort of I think he thought he was going to bring down the whole building. He didn't want to deal with the job market, and he just unsuccessfully blew himself up.
He looks like he just ate a thin wafer mint.
Get away, I can't eat anymore. I love that scene.
If I eat another bite, I'll burst.
That's all on Netflix, all those movies, by the way, and TV shows. They just dumped them on there, which is amazing.
All the Monty Python series?
Yeah. I got to watch Life of Brian again. Best rock throwing. Remember how big that post was for us? I wrote a post about my 13 favorite moments involving someone throwing a rock. And it still does well. Because there's probably no other rock throwing articles out there.
Walking pops up a good bit too.
Yeah.
Cinematic walking. I see trees every now and then.
Yeah.
The trees you don't want in your front yard.
Yeah, that's a good one. We shouldn't give our tips away to fellow writers. Don't listen to this.
That's right.
Forget. Pull a Thunder and Well, don't blow yourself up.
Well, I mean, unless you go read the article and visit the website and subscribe.
Read it, share it, and then rip it off.
Right.
All right, there we go. And then rate the podcast.
As long as we're getting, what was it? Just like in the last couple months, we went over 600 subscribers.
Yeah, we're cruising.
It's pretty cool.
Twitter, Facebook. We got more on Facebook. We got more on Twitter. On the website, we're flying. It's conquering the world. We're gonna be the next Ain't It Cool News.
But better.
All right, so the next question from Cat Lippy. What's really in a 6-demon bag?
So not the 6 demons we discussed earlier.
Yeah, because we have 13. So, but in this, there's a good quote though. Jack Burton's like, terrific. A 6-demon bag, sensational. What's in an egg? And I love that egg goes wind, fire, and all that kind of thing. And Urban Dictionary, they explain it as typically used to describe something that whips a lot of ass. And I went to a D&D website, John. And I see you're trying to jump in, but do you mind if I kind of see what this D&D website gave me and
sure.
kind of break it down?
D&D is in Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, cool.
So they're talking about the different kinds of dice, 1 through 6, and they're saying that there is wood. The demons are wood, fire, earth, metal, water, and wind. And like some minor, like a minor wood would be a root trap. Some major would be a splintering forest. Fire would be a fireball and a firestorm with Howie Long. Earth would be a fault opens, and then the next one would be an earthquake. Metal would be magnetic storm, lightning storm. Water would be deluge or storm or tsunami. Wind would be gust of wind, tornado. So that's what they're saying are the elements that are in there. Wood, fire, earth, metal, water, wind.
That's close to what my guess was. I was going old kung fu movies, because the old kung fu movies, they would refer to the elements. It wasn't just earth, water, air or wind, and why can I think? Earth, water, air, fire, basically. But metal or gold. But there's actually a kung fu movie where this team of martial artists have to get through the 5 deadly elements, and each element is actually a group of martial artists, and one of them was gold. One of the levels was gold. And then I think the 6th one is heart, because Captain Planet.
Oh. No,
I like that though from D&D. When you said D&D, I was actually thinking of the different kinds of dice, because there's a 4-sided, a 6-sided, an 8-sided, a 10-sided, a 12-sided, and a 20-sided. There's 6 different kinds of dice in a Dungeons and Dragons die bag.
And they have this broken down with roll, demon, minor, major. And this is a really in-depth chart I found. And you're a big D&D guy, so I figured you'd like that.
Yeah. Oh, I love all D&D stuff, yeah.
Now, I gotta say, I would rather, instead of having the extra thing in there, so let's take out, which one do I not like? Which one do I like the least? Let's take out...
Wood.
All right, let's take out wood. No, I like splinters. Let's take out fire.
Who likes splinters?
Exactly.
They're evil.
Yeah, that would be a minor thing. Hit somebody with splinters.
Sure.
I got a splinter the other day and I screamed. So I'm going to take out wood and I'm going to add 1 or 2 things. I'm going to add an earth, wind, or fire CD so you can just jam out.
Okay.
Like, do you remember? That'd be a good fighting song. The 21st night of September. Just, a little CD in there. Or an actual demon. Because imagine, John, you pull into a bag and you just take out this little demon and you throw it. And you're a bad guy. And you see a tiny little demon flying at you going, ah!
Well, I think as you throw it, though, it's assimilating into its real size.
I just like that it stays little and just harasses people. It's like a compy from Jurassic, one of the Jurassic Park movies. And it just stays little and runs amok. It's like one of those it's one of those things from Hellboy 2. The one that
like when he throws out the little seed.
Yeah.
And it turns into that like forest elemental they called it.
Yeah, I would love that. It just pops out and just starts eating people. And it's just a little thing running amok. And you see guys in the background going, ah! And you see a little thing chasing them. So I either want an Earth, Wind, Fire CD or a little demon instead of fire.
So, you know what else I think from Dungeons and Dragons? Dungeons and Dragons, and you see it sometimes in movies with like some kind of a wizard or something. But like spells, you use things like you'll throw some kind of like bone dust at someone when you're cursing them or something. And so in Dungeons and Dragons, your wizard will walk around with spell components and their little pouches with spell components. And maybe the 6 demon bag is basically it's almost like the witch's eye of newt and bat's wing.
Ooh.
You know, it's the little things that he needs in order to actualize a spell, something with some spiritual connection or something.
I like that.
Like you're throwing a little bit of charcoal powder in the air before some pyrotechnic or explosive thing happens. And so maybe the 6-demon bag is just his way of saying, these are like, this is my bag of tricks to make the magic work.
Ooh, so you're saying it's just it's like it's not really magic. It's just stuff that kind of augment or help the situation.
Right, like maybe you can't cast a certain spell without some kind of a focus. Like you don't see the people across the world without a crystal ball. Or a lens of some sort, or something clever, or you pour some magical fluid on the ground to make a little pool into which you'll see whatever you're trying to see, like clairvoyantly or something. You know, it's like, but it's almost like these are the things, or like you need the blood of, you know, someone evil to curse someone. And you instead of like dousing them in holy water, you spray that on them, or, you know, just things like that, or a toad's ooze for a curse of ugliness, or, you know, just when you think of weird magical things in movies. But like I think of that as like the Dungeons and Dragons spell components. It's his spell component bag.
Or you pull out a cassette tape, play some Earth, Wind, Fire, and everybody just starts dancing.
Right. Maybe that is the component for the enchantment that makes everyone dance, like the Pied Piper. Just getting on. This is getting really deep into this question.
Do you remember? I like that idea, though. The 21st night. Well, he was pulling stuff from that bag. Remember when that little giant ant crab subterranean creature grabs one of the Wing Kong, and he throws some stuff into that hole. He's like, "You will never come out of there."
Right. He throws, and by the way, what he throws looks like a little gem.
Yeah.
And later he pulls out a gem that he uses as a focus when he's dueling Lo Pan with their ancestor battle, right? Well, they're also in D&D, there's an item called Beads of Force, which is just a little thing that you throw and it explodes and does a lot of damage. And so it's like, I see a lot of D&D here. I'm not saying that I think that that's where these ideas came from, but a lot of these things are easily analogous, but D&D is a broad fantasy setting.
Man, do you think he we're getting too into this. Let's go to the next question. All right, so the next one is from Brett Hendrickson, and he asks, do you think the developers of Mortal Kombat paid homage to this film with creating Lord Raiden? What do you think was really in that drink? Oh, wait, sorry. We have a bunch of questions.
It's a whole bunch of questions.
All right, so do you think the developers of Mortal Kombat paid homage to this film with creating Lord Raiden? And that's yes. When Midway was creating the first Mortal Kombat game, the character Raiden was based on one of Lo Pan's 3 Storm Warriors, and Lo Pan himself was the blueprint for Mortal Kombat's main villain, Shang Tsung. Co-creator John Tobias told Gameological that Mortal Kombat was partially inspired by Big Trouble's combination of a Western world that meets this Eastern supernatural world.
My answer is also yes.
I just answered that question too seriously. Yeah.
I did a search and I just ended up on a Wikipedia page for the Mortal Kombat character, and I just scrolled down and it said, yeah, like what you said, like it's based on da 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 da. I normally am not a huge trustee in general of Wikipedia, but it seems straightforward enough, and it looks straightforward enough too.
Yeah, we can't really riff on this one. The next one is we really can riff on. What do you think was really in that drink? That
beta blockers.
Beta block that Jack, Egg, Wang, and the Wing Kong drank, which is my favorite scene in the movie when they get in an elevator and Jack burps. So they drink this drink before their final battle, and he just wants to know what's in it. So you think beta blockers?
I think it's beta blockers and a little ecstasy.
What about some Four Loko?
No, they were too calm.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They were too calm. They were in a good mood. They kept smiling goofily. They talked about how good they feel and calm. So I think it was beta blockers and ecstasy.
And they were touching each other's shoulders and stuff. Like he put his hand on his shoulder.
Right.
Like when you get all.
Just a little bit. I think they did a little bit of ecstasy, like whatever a dose is, like a fraction of a dose with some beta blockers. I think that's what was going on there.
And they didn't crash, right? They stayed. Really, they fight throughout, so it couldn't have been loaded with sugar or alcohol. I guess you're right. So it had to be something where they just didn't keep them going for a little while. I like it. You got them going on ecstasy
and beta blockers. I think the beta blockers are the most important. Take out the stress so you don't freeze when you're surprised by a bad guy, so you don't get overly scared. Maybe I'm just pretending this is how a beta blocker would work. By the way,
maybe a little tea, like a nice little.
Just stick with the homeopathy of it all.
Yeah. All right, the next one is, if Jack had a superpower, what would it be?
Luck.
Yeah, he'd be Domino. Because
if it wasn't for Domino, I wouldn't even think of that. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't die. I mean, part of it's by his savvy, like he kind of knows what's going on, but he just seems to be in the right place. Like he knocks himself out. Who knows what would happen? He throws his knife away. He gets luck. That's good. And why green eyes?
I just say that rarity begets supernatural things in mythology and folklore. And if you have very few people with green eyes, they say in the movie, whether or not it's true, like, okay, well, and Chinese women Chinese people almost never have green eyes. So it's like, if it's really rare, I'm going to say that's simply the reason.
Yeah, that works.
My guess. And in Asian culture, there's a lot of favoritism towards jade as well. That precious stone. So whether or not, which is also not that common.
Yeah.
I'm just word vomiting here.
No, that makes the most sense. This goes against MFF answers, but it works. It's not
because
just like,
it's the color of the green dragon of their ancestors.
Yeah. They're not just like, hey, find us two white dudes. Like, add a little bit to it.
Or the typical, I need two, give me a virgin. It's eye roll. It's.
Have you seen Behind the Mask? The Rise of Leslie Vernon?
Leslie Vernon?
Yeah, have you watched that yet?
Still no.
Oh, I can't. I don't want to say nothing.
I got too many.
All right, so the next one is, when the remake happens, would Russell make an appearance? If so, how would you want him portrayed? No, because I wish the original Ghostbusters, I like Ernie Hudson's, but I wish the original Ghostbusters hadn't appeared in the new Ghostbusters, because they just prevented it from moving forward. I don't want Jack Burton to make a 3-second cameo in this. I don't want him playing like a sidekick father. For me, at least, I'd just rather not have him in it at all.
What if it was a post-credit scene?
Yeah, that works. Sure. Toss in like a post-credit thing where I don't even want him. I don't know. I don't want him. Maybe no? I could. Maybe he sits down and starts gambling with him, or maybe he. No, at the end post-credits thing, like he throws something and it gets blown in the wind, and Jack just catches it, and then he hands it to him and walks away. That'd be good. I don't want to
close it out.
Yeah, I don't want anything in a truck. Just show some good reflexes at the end. That's it.
Because I like the way they did Ash Williams' cameo in the Evil Dead remake at the end.
Yeah, just groovy.
But just the very, very end, just picking her up, like it was easy, short, just enough. But yeah, my first gut answer was, okay, well, he better be in it, but as Jack Burton. But I wouldn't want him to be one of the like stars.
No,
because I don't know what level, but I wouldn't want him to be a star. I don't think I'd want him to be some kind of ongoing support. I don't really know what I'd want him to be.
Yeah,
I might prefer a cameo. Isn't the new movie supposed to be a continuation of the timeline?
Yeah,
when they do the new one,
like same world. I don't want it. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you need it, because it would keep it back. I just think move forward. I think that's what hurt the new Ghostbusters. I think Paul Feig wasn't able to just really embrace moving forward, and I don't know. I'm actually really, I don't want to see this character again. I don't want Jack Burton to be watered down. I think so many characters have been watered down. I think that's one reason why I like him so much. He popped up once, and that's it. And there wasn't even much character development to him.
What if Sean William Scott was Jack Burton's son?
But like finding trouble again? Or maybe, maybe selfishly, if that's the only way they could make the reboot starring Sean William Scott is to have him play Jack Burton's son. Sure.
It's like Jack Burton Jr.
Yeah. And I mean they did it Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. That worked with Sean Connery. But Sean Connery wasn't the original. But if you did a dynamic like that, they both couldn't be bumbling. But I don't want Jack Burton like, oh, Jack is dead, so I had to go see this little trouble in Big China where, this trouble he had, like to go visit this. I don't know. I really don't care if they remake movies, and I watch a lot of them, but I just don't see a way a remake would work. I don't want it.
Like what I'm really seeing in the answer, and of course, it's just the natural response, I think, is like, you're so conflicted about it because this is such a beloved product. It's hard to envision messing with it.
Yeah. So I would rather not. If they want to remake it, but just don't bring Jack into it. For this is me speaking. I just think he's a perfect character. I just think they nailed it. And I don't know. I love characters like this, or Doug Glatt from Goon, or Lloyd Dobler from Say Anything. Like the dudes that, I don't know, they're nice guys. They're not superheroes, and they still kick some butt.
You know what's weird about this movie for me is that this came out after Escape from L.A. or New York. I'm sorry, after Escape from New York and after The Thing, to the tune of several years, like 4 years, and he seems younger here. I know what he's clean shaven, right? He's always both clean and clean shaven, as opposed to, sleep deprived and bearded or unshaven. But and that's a lot of it. But in just the attitude, he has like a younger attitude. This character feels younger than MacReady. This character feels younger than Snake Plissken. I feel like MacReady or Snake Plissken are his brothers that are 10 years older than this character, even though this character is actually 4 years older than them.
Yeah. No,
it's a funny little oddity.
I'd love to see the three of them getting together.
Just three brothers calling each other screw-ups.
They just can't blow each other up.
They're all kind of screw-ups in a way.
Yeah. I mean, MacReady's dumping good scotch to break a computer. He has issues.
I mean, he got so grumpy about that.
He wasted a computer and scotch. I mean, it's a blended scotch,
and you can't just go out and buy more scotch.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to the scotch store.
You have you could have 100 bottles of scotch. You just poured out 0.5% of all your scotch. Like, I can measure it.
Yeah. And he broke a computer. He's not very good at chess. All right, so next.
I shouldn't say MacReady was a screw up. I was really actually only thinking of that one scene. But he did end up, not having a great rest of his life. So
I mean, he's smart though. He does smart things in that movie. He just has some, I mean, I don't know. If you're going to go to wherever they were, you're going to have a few issues, right? Like, you're taking yourself away from civilization. You're pouring scotch on computers. You need to talk to people. All right, so next is from Sean Alvashire, and it says, do you think if Lo Pan won, the closing credits would have had him hitting some of the big touristy spots in San Francisco, like Alcatraz and Ghirardelli?
This question made me smile so much. And I just went with it in my head. Like, I see him, he's just being a regular dude. I mean, he's affluent, of course. He's probably very wealthy, but he's in a Hawaiian shirt, and I Love New York hat, a We Saw Big Ben pin. He has a huge, offensively big camera that's almost weighing him down. It's probably hurting his back because now he's mortal.
Yeah, he would be unironically like, I mean, I enjoy touristy spots, but he would love it. I feel like he would really enjoy it, and he would have questions. He'd be cheeky. His attitude would be up. You'd want him in your group.
I'll bet he's extremely knowledgeable about the world.
Yeah.
It's just that he's been laying low for 20. Was it? They gave an exact number. It was like 2,158 years.
Yeah.
It was like a really, like, I imagine he was laying low that whole time. I mean, people were surprised that he even physically manifested on the streets of Chinatown. That is how reclusive he was for whatever reason, protecting his interests. So he might know all this stuff regardless of the internet. Like, he's had plenty of time to read. He probably is dying to see this stuff.
He just read about it, and I want to see him. I want a 10-minute scene where he just eats Ghirardelli chocolates. Sampler.
Oh my God! You know how I made that Dracula connection earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. He has multiple forms. Right. He has crossed oceans of time. But the other thing, like Dracula, traveled all the way to London. Right. Yeah. At some point in those 2,158 years, while Lo Pan was in this fleshless form, he transported himself and his whole cadre of servants to Chinatown. He wasn't in Chinatown 2158 years ago. There are a lot of Dracula-esque things. I'm wondering if that influenced this a little bit.
And he has minions.
Oh yeah, he's got minions that have some power. He's almost never seen on the surface. When he did, by the way, like it's like he has his old man form. He has his sleek form, which I call the one sighting that he had on the surface, and then he has like his more true form. Like it's very Dracula-ish.
And also Dracula had the gypsies fighting for him, and then he has the Chang Sing working for him.
I think, and these people are dying for him.
Yeah,
they're dedicated. I think that there's a nice appreciative, like honorarium to Dracula here.
They both drink blood.
They both drink some. Yep, there was the blood connection.
They both have escalators with neon.
Multiple brides.
Yep, multiple brides. Yep.
One wasn't multiple brides.
And he's cursed.
And all he wanted to do was be mortal too. That's another thing that had me curious.
Just kind of let him have it. Call the president. All right, want to finish off these last two questions?
Okay, yeah, I keep digging in there.
All right. Side note discussion: Carpenter wanted Jackie Chan in the role of Wang Chi, but he wasn't cast because his English wasn't good enough. Chan does make a cameo though during the fight scene between the Chang Sings and the Wing Kong. What are you guys' thoughts if Jackie Chan was originally casted? Now, Brent Henriksen asked this, but he was not in the movie. Jackie Chan's not in this film, but he was considered.
I thought that he was in it only because I had seen little things online over the years, and I've actually seen shots from that fight where people point to it, and it's like one of those things where like I can't tell if that's him, and it's like I've seen this, and it's probably always the same picture, and I just my answer to his question was he was in it.
Yeah. So Chan was the studio's choice for the role, which later went to Dennis Dunn, who I love in this movie. Chan turned down the role for two reasons. His English wasn't very good, and after his 1985 movie The Protector, Chan decided to return to China to focus on his film career there. So he turned it down. So it's not that he wasn't cast because of that. He turned it down. The studio wanted him. And then I was looking through a bunch of pictures, and I saw what you saw. That's him, but I saw the same article where like that's actually this actor, not Chan. So it's like, but he was considered. And so I guess if he was in it, I don't know. I like Dennis Dunn. This movie, very few of the time, I don't really put up too many walls when it comes to movies. And I think Jackie Chan would be really good. I mean, you watch his buddy comedies like Rush Hour, Shanghai Noon, which is actually really good, John. That's like,
I love that movie.
It's like 80, that's an 80%er on Rotten Tomatoes. So there's some really good movies I forgot are actually really good. Like I wouldn't remember that, but I don't know how great. I think Dennis Dunn. I really like Dennis Dunn. He's fluent. He was fun. He was different. He was that character. So for me, it took a totally different role, and I liked seeing Dennis Dunn as the star. I don't know. For me, it would have been fine with Jackie, but I like Dennis Dunn, and I got a wall up.
He was like an earnest unknown too. Like when you're watching this movie for the first time, and then all of a sudden he says, "We're going to go save her. We're going to go raid it and save her." You're like, "You get yourself killed." Then you see him fight. You're like, "Whoa, dude can fight!" If it's Jackie Chan, the people who saw Big Trouble in Little China in the theaters, who were excited about it in the theaters way back in 1986, were probably genre movie fans. They probably knew about Police Story and Project A. Right? Yeah. They probably knew about, especially, what was the other one? The Protector with Danny Aiello, an American release. Like, they probably knew about that. The people who were stoked to see this in theaters probably knew about that. So when you see him on the screen, that he's gonna kick some ass. This guy, like, if you're watching this for the first time, you're like, this guy came out of nowhere. He's fighting armies.
During the final battle, he does a sweet pirouette. Like, really graceful with the sword. I love his moves. Sorry I interrupted.
Oh, no, it's just he's and he has a more, I don't know, his kind of thinner build. He has a more boyish look. I feel like, I don't know. It almost made it, like, not boyish, but you know what I mean? Just a younger or maybe in over his head or naive or whatever it is. It really worked, and I don't know. I wouldn't want to change it.
Nope, me
I wouldn't
neither.
change it. And I like that. And I like that I didn't see it coming.
You know what's funny is I don't put up a wall for many movies because movies have been remade since the first movie or casting changes, and I'm pretty great with the fluidity of changing the movies and casting and remakes, but I just don't want to see any differences because I love this movie. All right, we have 2 questions left. The last one's from Megan, my wife Megan. She said, WWJBD, what would Jack Burton do if he was partnered with Eco UA from the Raid 1 and 2?
Probably let Eco do all the work and somehow survive the ordeal and then take all the credit.
That's right. He would just drive the truck and let Eco do everything else.
I was even thinking of this the other way, though. Like, what if he was forced to team up with Eco UA in the Raid 2?
Oh, my gosh.
And then I was like, okay, so for him to have survived that, he would have had to have fallen down a laundry chute and been knocked unconscious safely for 90 minutes of the 95-minute movie.
Yeah, he gets stuck. Remember that scene where they blow up the refrigerator in the first one?
He's just in it.
Yeah, he would get stuck and then would fall on top. And as he's getting up, something else would fall on that. And he's just stuck in there.
Right, until Eco opens it at the end.
Yeah. Like the fight scene, so every fight scene that happens, he just gets locked somewhere.
Right.
Like Daniel Stern from Rookie of the Year. He gets trapped between 2 doors. He gets locked in a cage. That's a random reference I just pulled.
Yeah, I saw that once, probably when it came out.
But
was that the one with the kid from American Pie?
Yeah. Thomas and Nicholas. But listen, just watch The Raid, I guess. I'm glad that Megan asked this question because just watch The Raid 1 and 2. You know what's kind of crazy? I was thinking about this. Mission Impossible Fallout and The Raid 2 are kind of the same thing for me. I feel like they are so full of awesomeness, I take them for granted. Like these movies, there's so many amazing things that if one set piece was the final set piece, you're like, that was an amazing set piece. But they're so awesome that by the end, you're almost taking the awesome for granted. It's kind of crazy. Right. Like there's so much awesome in these movies. Like but I know that, but I still feel like when I watch them, like, this is just too much awesome. I don't know I can't just be like, this is amazing. I'm like, this is too much. I don't understand. It's a weird thing to think, but I just wanted to say that. I want to get that out there for all of our listeners, so everyone knows. All right, last question from Nathan Scholes. Double or nothing?
Double.
I'm always saying nothing.
Well, this whole movie relied on double.
Yep.
If it was nothing, there wouldn't have been a movie. Well, Kurt Russell wouldn't have been in it.
The demons come out of my 6 demon bag when I gamble. So I gotta say nothing.
It's like I gotta get 12 demons.
Yeah. I end up with like 64 demons. What am I gonna do with all these? Oh, Jerry, what am I gonna do with all these demons?
This is a funny question. Did this question just come almost like in response to other questions like on Facebook? That feels like how this question would have come up.
No, Nathan just sent me this question. I actually worked with Nathan in 2011 in Anaheim for a convention, and we've stayed Facebook friends ever since. And so he just sent this double or nothing. I kind of love it. Like the movie so for me it's nothing because of the demons, but for the movie it's double.
I'm saying double. He needs to double that. What was it? $1,142.
Would you rather have a double stuffed Oreo or nothing?
I guess the Oreo.
Yeah, I mean it's just one.
Yeah, I think that's too much cream personally, but
too much awesome.
I thought it was too much just cream, sugar cream, whatever that is. Just a personal, opinion about double stuffed Oreos.
You feel about them the same way as I do Raid 2?
I'm going to take it. I mean, this is turning down cookies.
There's so much left in this movie. All right, so they bust in.
Okay, their second plan.
Yeah, their second plan. They bust in. But,
water dungeon with bloated dead bodies.
Yep. And then so they find that's how do they get people in there?
I want to know the story of that water dungeon with all of those submerged, bloated, dead, rotting bodies. They swam through that. Their eyes were open in that water.
Yeah, they got something funky.
Like I feel like they need to see a doctor, like ASAP. That's not good. So in this day, they open their eyes in cadaver riddled water, right? And they took drugs.
Yeah.
They're having a hell of a day.
And they haven't slept because they were probably drunk. So they're coming off a drunk. They're swimming through dead bodies. They're drinking beta blockers and they're taking some ecstasy.
They should look like Bruce Willis at the end of the movie without the blood, right?
Yeah. And so they get captured by Thunder, and they start
through some gorgeous hallways.
Oh, beautiful set design. I love the set design in this movie.
There are all these statues. I don't care if they're made out of the cheapest material possible. That would have been really expensive to set up, wouldn't it? Relatively speaking.
Well, very expensive because you had to find everything, get them set up, build the room. They spent some money on this.
There were carpeting and tapestries and vases and statues everywhere.
Beautiful set design. Underrated set design, I believe. I actually, when I was watching this movie after the Lords of Death shot, I was like, this is a really well-made movie. The way they shot the battle scene, the people running at each other's. Carpenter knows what's up. Right? So what? They get caught by Thunder, and Jack gets beat up with a red ball, and he's angry that they won't just fight like a man.
Those were stress balls. Did you notice there were like 6 stress balls on the ground around him?
Yeah, and you're just hitting him in the gut.
So that means that Rain, in his pocket, had 6 stress balls.
I mean, it's a stressful job, right? Especially now with the 2 people.
It's 6 stress balls.
All right, so I do love how they escape, though, because I love when Jack jumps. So they're tied to these chairs, but Jack gets out, and he jumps on Thunder's back. And Wang and Eddie are like, let's go, Jack. And Jack's like, how?
All he had to do was put his feet down. He was being such a kid about it.
I just love that. He's like hanging on this dude's back with a knife. Come on, how? I just love it. He was just afraid to leave Thunder. And
then somehow he couldn't hold on when Thunder took a deep breath.
Yeah. And all right, so then they trap Thunder and they get to a bunch of prison cells.
The girl prison.
The girl prison. And in a very funny line in the commentary, John Carpenter's like, I noticed this set a lot. He's like, I've seen this set in many movies. He's like, I think I just saw it in a porn recently. And Kurt Russell goes, your best work in a while. That was pretty fun. That was pretty funny work. And so they go to this prison thing, and Eddie. So Wang beats up the 2 women, right? Or Eddie fights. No, so Eddie and Wang fight against 2 female guards. Jack Burton gets in to the prison, and he gives my favorite. Oh wait. Sorry. Oh, whatever. He gives my favorite line where Margot's like, how are you going to spring us? And Jack just goes, I have no idea.
I got to point out, those woman prison guards, actually, I got to point out 2 things. One, we totally witnessed a sex slavery ring, and they just didn't say it.
Yeah.
And 2, those women guards, by far, were the most dangerous opponents that they faced in the entire movie.
Yeah, they put up the best fight.
Look at how they handled Wang.
Yep.
They were kicking the crap. Like, he was having a tough time with them. Yeah, eventually he rounded up and defeated them and everything, but they were, hands down, they provided the biggest physical challenge of any opponent in the whole movie.
They reminded me of the Raptors in Jurassic Park. They worked together well. They used they had a very small walkway, and they used that perfectly with their weapons. They had the right weapons for the job. And
they were just bow staffing away.
They took it to Wang. And Wang knocks people out. He basically takes out 5 people with like 1 kick. And he's supernatural. Well, he hadn't had the drink yet. But, yeah, so the great. Oh, but I also want to say I skipped over the scene where these henchmen are running in, and Jack doesn't know how to work his gun, and he finally gets out to safety and he kills a guy. And then Eddie looks at him and goes,
what, that's the first time you ever plugged a guy?
Yeah. And then Russell goes, of course not. And in the article I'm going to show, there's a reason why I love this movie. I have a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger shooting a gun. I have a picture of Sylvester Stallone shooting a gun. But I screen capped the picture of Kurt Russell shooting, and he does this like he's freaked out that he's shooting the gun. He just squinches up his eyes, his lips kind of pucker, and he just looks scared by it. I just love this. It's the first guy he's ever killed, and he's shooting a gun. He's scared about shooting it, but he still does shoot it. But I just love that that's our hero. There's a guy who's just scared, and he lies about having plugged somebody.
Well, so they're gonna have to escape.
Yeah.
But swim through some water.
But guess who gets caught? Maggie gets caught by the big hairy orangutan, and then they take off an Egg's bus. But the one scene I love is when they get everybody out and they're escaping. When Jack and Maggie are swimming through this tunnel together, she's like right next to him, kind of pressing on him. He's like, I just can't think when you're pressing on me. He's just Like, she's like flustering him in this tunnel because she's like right next to him. You just can't. Like, when have you ever heard of, like, James Bond would never say that? Oh, I am money penny. Like, he would just make love to her in that tunnel. It'd be really weird. But he's like, I just can't think with you rubbing up on me. So yeah, they escape. She gets caught, and then they have to go back in through. They grab the the wing Kong, and then they have to go back in through these creepy tunnels where the spider is, and there's like a whole new
this monster sewer.
Yeah, and there's some. So I have a question. They go through this monster sewer, like tons of dimensions, different worlds, dangerous creatures. But there's a thing where they dump fish. So do people travel in here to dump fish into this place?
I don't know, but I just want to say that pile of fish that they were haphazardly eating, how long were those fish sitting there at room temperature?
Yeah, and they were exactly, and they traveled through another world to dump them onto this.
They're eating raw fish at room temperature that's been sitting for a long time. It was there. It had to have been there for hours, right? Let's just be real.
Easily, yeah.
Okay,
and it had to get there.
Open eyes in rotting corpse water.
Yep.
And use drugs. And didn't sleep. Like their immune system has got to be killing itself.
Yeah, they're gonna have. So you know what? I bet you at the end when Burton drives away, he's not doing it because he doesn't like Maggie. He's just like, I gotta do some things.
I gotta go to a walk-in clinic.
But he's like he'll never admit it. You know what I mean? He's like,
right.
I'm sick. All right, so they get in, and this is when they take their beverage, and we learn about the 6 demons. They have one of my favorite scenes in the movies where they drink this beverage. Jack Burton, of course, burps, and then they go into the elevator and have one of my favorite scenes where he's feeling invincible. Everyone's on ecstasy, touching each other, not touching each other, but putting their hands on their shoulders, doing the loser sign. But it's a positive one. And then the big battle breaks out, but Jack knocks himself out.
Yeah, when Egg Shen has his Gandalf battle with... Dude, is Lo Pan the Saruman to Egg Shen's Gandalf?
Sounds about right.
Like I wonder... But Egg Shen is just a regular dude. And
Lo
Pan is old as sin.
But remember when Lo Pan says, you've been trying to get me forever? So I wonder if something's up with Egg.
Or maybe Egg keeps reincarnating and maintaining his knowledge or something like that.
I think so. I think
like a less sinister means than living forever.
Yeah, he's like the lady from Doctor Strange who keeps drawing power from the darkness. I don't know. So they get in there. Wang throws a sword behind his back and kills one of the storms, which is like a crazy throw. Kills one of the storms.
That was it was a good fight. It was a long fight.
Yeah, long fight. Jack actually kills a guy in armor with a knife in his boot, but then the guy squishes him and he gets stuck. So now he knocks himself out.
He has the weakest legs ever, if you really look at that scene.
Yeah. As a visual gag, it works. But yeah, he can't turn that guy. They probably had to keep him out of the action for as long as possible. And the Wing Kong dudes are just beating people up left and right. Problem is, Lo Pan escapes with Miao Ying.
Wait, so their wedding hall, though.
Oh, yeah, the neon.
So when he escapes through that big mouth, there's neon lighting. Someone decided, and Lo Pan's in charge. So at some point, like one of the storms was like, Mr. Lo Pan, what do you think of the neon lighting? And at some point it's yes, it looks good. Like at some point that happened.
And an escalator.
He approved that.
Yep.
And by the way, that room is really cool. Can you not see DJ Deadmau5 up in front of that neon mouth?
Yeah.
and they had that big 6-armed statue or whatever. Like you could have like a rave in there, private corporate events. Yep. Like he could use this place as a venue business.
Well, I wonder if he did.
Maybe he did. That's true.
I mean,
it was the trading company.
I mean, if you think maybe they schmooze customers there. Right.
I mean, it's too good of a place not to be using. Like, did they really have that room just sitting there ever since he came to America 100 years ago, just sitting there waiting for a wedding?
I think that was a brilliant observation, John. They used that for events.
Employee Appreciation Day there. They'd have a party with free drinks,
mixers, DJs, dances. Like they probably had weddings there. I think if you're an employee, you could get a discount rate in that venue hall.
The Wing Kong Trading Company annual social.
Yeah, that's right. I love this idea. Bring some, oh man, good neon work. So they use that as an event space and for weddings.
It looks like it.
That makes me. That's one of the funny. That's a really good one in the history of our pod, John. I think that's one of my favorites of yours.
Well, and if we're being serious, you see how Lopan dresses when he's down there?
Yeah.
Dude, he looks like he belongs in Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
Like, he's inviting people over. You don't have it look that nice all the time and not show it off.
I mean, there's got to be a bunch of underground. He probably parties with some of the ancients that are cursed, or he has some people, right?
Or he just invites over the Young family from Singapore.
Yeah, that's right. There's
Michelle Yeoh's
he's an investor.
Aquafina.
Oh, dude.
Ken Jeong.
I love Crazy Rich Asians. Listen to the podcast. You'll love it. So they escape, and that leads Jack. So Jack, Wang, and Gracie. Have I been calling her something else throughout this? Gracie. They go after Lopan, and it leads to another great scene where he's on an elevator with Jack's on the elevator with Kim Cattrall, and she kisses him, and the lipstick just smears off on his mouth.
Oh, it looks so great.
That's like, and he has it on for a long time, and so this one's in the commentary. They're saying the lipstick coming off of Kim Cattrall and onto Russell wasn't a planned joke, but something they improvised when they saw the makeup used on the actress came off so easily. Carpenter notes this is just an example how certain actors won't let themselves look like a fool, and why Russell was such a perfect choice for the Jack Burton role.
AKA Russell would let himself look like a fool.
Yeah. I love it, though. He just has this lipstick on him for almost the entire time. I love it. I think it's brilliant.
Is it me, or how like you see a lot of actors in roles, and I'm not going to name any names, but you see actors in roles, and like we've talked in the past, though, how you just see ego all the time on the screen, and like they have to look all the time. Whereas even when he's Mr. Nobody in the recent Fast and Furious movies, like he's slick, but he's not that slick, and I think that he earned his slickness, whereas a lot of the people who are just nothing but oozing ego on screen, a lot of times I don't think they've earned at least quite the level of slick that they want to be.
No, you're absolutely right, and I could go off on. I think you picked the perfect film for that too, but yeah, you're right. He's earned it. He's earned that level. I love that. He has his lipstick on him, though. And then, of course, he kills Lopan he catches a knife, John, and throws it back into a guy's forehead.
Dude, why did I can come up with reasons, don't get me wrong, but as far as the movie goes, why did he want to become mortal?
Well, don't some vampires want to become mortal so they can feel again?
Right. No. Again, it's like it wasn't verbalized. But yeah, it's like, or maybe it's even a sense like he hasn't eaten food, like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
you feel a perpetual physical emptiness. You're always hungry. You ever been hungry on a long drive? You get hangry in 2 hours. What happened if that lasted for, I don't know, 100 or 2,158 years? And it would probably be maddening. And you don't even care if you live forever at that point. You just want it to end. But is that it? Like, or did he have some kind of an ambition for what he would do when he was mortal that he for some reason couldn't do while he was maybe limited and had to be reclused in his immortality? That's what I mean. I'd love to know his story.
I thought, didn't he? I could have sworn he wanted to take something over.
I don't remember. Remember.
I think it's just a throwaway line in there, maybe.
When I am Flash, then I can do this. And,
exactly.
It's probably something as easy as that. It's but again, it's not a well realized ambition. We know what he wants to accomplish in this movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. Not calling it a flaw. It's just you don't have to tell me everything. We're told a lot of interesting things in this movie, but I'd just be interested to know Lopan's story.
Yeah, give us more.
I want to know, or is there any fan fiction out there about Lopan? I bet there is.
Oh, I came up with one about Carl.
Carl. Poor Carl. Well, I guess not poor Carl. He's doing fine. But he was probably really stressed out, though, in that first week.
Oh, yeah. He had a bad week.
When he lost his job.
He had a bad week until he learned about the great severance package. Now, can I ask you a question? Has Jack Burton thrown knives before?
That's a good question. I mean, because his first throw was like Lopan didn't even get out of the way so much as he just turned to watch it miss. Like, that first throw was so bad.
Yeah, really bad.
But the second throw was on point, right? So that's tough. Like, maybe maybe like when he was a teenager, like maybe you grew up on a farm and you're just drinking beers and you're throwing knives on a wall.
You know what I was thinking? He's best when he's not thinking. Jack Burton.
When he just reacts.
So I mean,
just like the bottle when he catches the bottle in the beginning.
Yeah, and that was like me to a certain extent. Like I overthink things, but when I just do them naturally, I was better at them. So maybe he just didn't think and could do it. I like that answer. What do you think?
Yeah, and the beta blockers probably help with that.
Yeah, he's flying high on ecstasy right now.
That's right.
All right, so they save the day. Thunder blows himself up. Everything's happy. They go back to their restaurant. They're hanging out. Gracie's like, hey, like you wanna hang out? And he just ditches her. And then he gets back on the road, and that orangutan is hanging out on the back. And I have the comic books, the ones that came out later. They team up later on. But
what, him and the orangutan?
Yeah, they become buds, and they go into this thing with these like crazy monkeys.
Wait, I was joking, but he and the orangutan actually team up?
Yeah, they have to go travel somewhere because there was a fallout of what happened, and so they have to go somewhere to do something, and there's angry monkeys that Jack has to fight. I read these comic books. I read them in like 2013, 2014, these comic books. I have them, so I bought them all online, but I just lost the password, and I don't know where I bought them.
So that creature totally looks like the monster from the segment The Crate in Creepshow.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. What came first? This was 86. One was Creepshow.
Yeah, 82.
Oh, okay. So,
but before both of those, Dungeons and Dragons had the monster manual with the carnivorous ape.
There it is. I wonder if the writers did look at this, or if these are just, where did they get the monstrous ape from? The D&D people.
I don't know, but and also the thing in the cave is also something like a 1981 D&D monster, the Cave Fisher, and the floating head with eyes is very clearly, if you were to look it up, it's like a riff on a monster called the Beholder, which is almost certainly from Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, that thing. That's very all right. So hey, final thoughts about this movie, John.
Dude, I mean, so this is the first time I actually sat down and from the very first moment to the very last moment in one sitting really watched it in probably 10 or 15 years. And can I see that it's aged? Yes. Do I care? Not at all. It is just such a delightfully rewatchable, just such an eclectic adventure fantasy film. It's so fun. I've got like no complaints. I might want things, but I have not a complaint.
And it's only an hour and 40 minutes. And so, I mean, that's not a long movie. It's not a 2 hour.
So much crazy stuff in it, too, for just that.
An hour and 40 minutes. Like, that's, I mean, with credits, 3-4 minutes. So, I mean, it's like 96 minutes.
I feel like this movie broke all the rules, too. Because I feel like the woman gets taken, and then you go rescue her. The woman gets taken, and then they had 3 separate invasions.
There's. Oh, wait.
3.
So he goes to the brothel, and then they go in as repairmen, right?
To get the women's prison thing.
And then they go
deeper into Lopan's lair. There are 3 separate invasions. It's not just going deeper and deeper. 3 completely separate invasions.
In 100 minutes.
I mean, there's just so much stuff happens in this movie.
And there's, what I like though, you know how kind of rare it is? We talked about a lot of the characters in this movie. Like we're talking about Egg and the 3 Storms and the Wing Kong and Grace. Yeah. So I mean, there's in this movie it's populated with a lot of characters, but they're all they're all like, I like them all. I like Eddie. We didn't talk about Margot much. She had some good lines. But I mean, I don't know. This is just a movie with a bunch of 3-dimensional characters, and no, I love it. I love this. It's one of my favorites. Jack Burton's my favorite action hero, and I'm really glad that we got to podcast about it because we've talked about it, and I was always a little hesitant to podcast about it because I didn't know how much we covered, but I realized we haven't really covered much of it after this podcast. But we talked about it a lot here. So
we've checked all the boxes.
That's right. Any plugs before we get going?
I'll just plug a couple of our most devoutly regular supporters on Twitter. There's @GrimHorror. Grim Horror is just reposting just about anything that appears on our website, completely unsolicited, and asks for nothing in return. Grim Horror, thanks so much. John _F_Leonard That's at John F. Leonard. He is an author, and he promotes a lot of his material on Twitter, and you can get his stuff on Amazon. Bad Pennies is his horror series. Leo Craven on Twitter. Again, just a guy who seems to appreciate our work, and I appreciate that he appreciates our work. And, of course, the folks from Crash Palace and on Twitter, Johnny Numb. And Johnny Numb has been all over our Facebook conversations, and he very regularly feeds us a lot of questions for the podcast, and just very supportive folks. So I'd say thank you to all those folks and all the people who gave us listener questions today. There were quite a lot.
Also, Paul Bowler and the Marco guy. They like all of our stuff, share all of our stuff. The only guys who talk about movies podcasts, they share a lot of our podcasts, so thank you for that. And then everyone who answered questions, like they were a lot of fun, in-depth, smart, love everything. I still want to know why the 4 directors were picked. That was brilliant. But no, I'm glad we did this for our 150th episode. We did our first episode with Kurt Russell. We talked about his best sleeveless shirts, and now we're talking about the movie.
Our 50th episode was Kurt Cella.
And then I think we did a Kurt Russell episode, but we couldn't get it at 100th. So we're like our 103rd episode is about.
I think if you listen to episode 101, we're like, oh, weren't we supposed to do Kurt Russell for 100? We'll do it at 150.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have 150, and then I drop some weird data, and then we have this one. So I mean, we're coming full circle with our Russell, but no, it was a lot of fun.
I want to know what other podcasts have 3-hour-plus episodes entirely dedicated to Kurt Russell.
Well, if they do, then I need to start recording more to get ahead of them.
It's like, oh man, guess we're doing Breakdown next week.
Hey, no one would join me this week, but I'm going to spend an hour talking about Soldier. I'm just going to read the script, just me reading it. But cool, that was a lot of fun. But for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for John Levingood, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We will see you next week. Bye.